off in 2 minutes. Okay, let's kick off. I think we're good. If more people join, then they'll be able to catch up on the recording. Okay, so welcome everyone. We're excited to keep navigating this journey with you. It's been really rewarding to see the evolution of the product and the way everyone's been receiving what's happening. Today, we have a couple of items on the agenda. So we'll start with some feedback updates before jumping to the new version of the image gallery, which is really what brought us here today. As usual, we will open up for questions and comments, suggestions, thoughts. And at the end, I'll just give you a bit more, a couple of tips on how to access the insider versions, because I know that that's still been an issue for some of you. So for today's session, we will again have Marco join me to walk you through the image gallery new capabilities and new layouts. Before we deep dive into that, I want to make sure that you feel heard, right, in your comments and your feedback. So after our insider call, we've launched title, divider, and lists to all Office 365 modern users. Today, we will be introducing you all to this new version of Image Gallery. And the insider version will be made available to you after the call. Now, as you know, we really make an effort to keep you updated on the things we're working on and what's the plan for the upcoming weeks or months. But this time, what we can tell you is that we're going to take a step back and really review all the webparts we've launched so far and take a couple of weeks to improve those that are already out. Okay, so at the end of September, we believe that we will be able to launch a couple of new versions of the webparts we've launched so far with small tweaks or larger improvements. It will be very much variable, but that will be the main goal. We will also start working on people, which has been receiving a lot of requests and suggestions. And after that, we will jump onto the calendar, right? But that still doesn't have a date. So keep your eyes and ears open for what's coming next. We will be focusing on first tweaking what we've launched so far, and then starting to work on people. More news on the next insider call will be arriving soon. Okay, so now on the feedback updates regarding what we've improved so far in the past webparts that we've launched. So let's start with lists. Now, after our last insider call, we found out that some of you like filters just the way it worked before, right? So instead of launching lists to the public as an evolution of filters, we decided to launch it as a separate Webpart, right? It has a different approach to list formatting and filtering. It has a different configuration experience. We think it's easier for new users, but many of our old customers have made great things with the previous filters Webpart. So we're keeping both. Now, if after that the insider call, you've installed lists as an update to filters, what you can do is go back and revert that to filters and install lists as a new Webpart. Okay, so another thing we did for lists was launching or adding a new module, search, filter, and sort. This will be available across many of the other Webparts, but what it will basically allow users to do is to search, filter, and sort, right, for the criteria that has been predefined by the admin. We've also implemented pagination for lists. This was something that was requested in our last call. And we fixed a small bug that we detected on search for metadata fields. So that's everything that you're seeing here has been done, and it's going to be launched tomorrow when we do the monthly updates to our products. Now on the title Webpart, we've made it possible, also in line with what you shared on a previous call, for the title to inherit the theme font and the theme font color. Okay, so again, this is going to be released tomorrow. Make sure you update your versions. And finally, for quick links, we understood many of you weren't being able to use the Webpart with audience targeting for groups because it required that some API permissions were granted. Now we're adding a message to the Webpart to make that really clear and visible whenever you're configuring it. And that should be out tomorrow. We've also heard that some of the icons that all of you were choosing were not working perfectly. That will be fixed tomorrow. And the same for the title misalignment, also going to be released tomorrow. Okay, so as I've mentioned, and until our next Insiders call, we will be working on improvements to these Webparts that we've launched so far. So celebrations, script editor, quick links, what else? Well, image gallery now, all of this, title and divider. I was missing those two. So all of that, we will be just revising them, revising your feedback, everything that has not been implemented so far, and we will be implementing those features until our next insider call. Now, this includes things that were highlighted as coming soon in our Webpart. So, for example, for celebrations, it includes the connection to Azure AD, as well as the actions, for example, enabling users to congratulate their former colleagues or their colleagues for their birthdays or their work anniversaries, right? And also enabling users to receive reminders of when's our team next birthday, right? So things like that are going to be possible soon. Now we will also we'll be going through quick links again. Some of you have requested sorting capabilities, right? Currently, you can only drag and drop to order links. So we will be implementing that, and we will extend the display options. So it's saying coming soon right now. We will work on those also in this next couple of weeks. Finally, for title and divider, we will improve the experience of selecting the background color and adjusting the color contrast between letters and the background. We've noticed that there's a small issue when you're changing to black. It's a bit bumpy. We will be working on that as well. Now, there are some suggestions that have been raised and shared for which we still need to do some evaluation on feasibility and complexity, right? The first one is the possibility of transforming the Webpart saved content into a list format. Great suggestion. We're still getting our heads around that. The second one is improving lists to allow for multiple selection and for select all and select all. So we still need to review this feedback. We hope to have more feedback to give you on this soon, but if you have ideas or suggestions on all the past webparts, feel free to reach out to me directly, post them on User Voice, open up your mic. This is the moment, right? This is the moment to share that. Okay, now on to what really brought us here. Sorry, the new image gallery. So what's new when we compare the current version or the new version with what we had already offered? So we're enabling users to either reuse existing content stored in lists and libraries, but also to add new content directly to the webpart with the save to this webpart option as a data source. We're also expanding the number of gallery layouts we have available. Before we only had one, now we're going to have 4. The one you see here on that just popped out, it's what we call the Pinterest layout, but it will have a lot to choose from. The new layouts are much more modern, aligned with latest design trends, so I think you'll really like those. Now, it will also be possible to choose the individual image layout. So basically what that means is you're going to be deciding if you want to show a card with info or an image with a label on top of the picture, in which case you can only select like one line of text. What else? We've also implemented a new module, the search sort filter, in this webpart, which means that you'll be able to search within folders and to enable sorting for end users. For example, just among other things that this module allows you to do, you see that now we have the search filter and sort right there with a drop down to use, for example, when you're trying to find an image that's of a certain size because you want to upload it somewhere else, right? For admins, this is going to be easier also to define which fields they want end users to search, filter, or sort for. If you recall the previous version, you had to type in the column name, right? That was going to be the filter, for example. Now that's populated in the dropdown, so the experience will be much easier. Okay, finally, it will be possible to target content for groups or individual users, just like you're seeing for the other webparts that we've been launching. Okay, what are we keeping from the functionalities we already had in the previous version? We will keep supporting folders and breadcrumb navigation, pagination, and videos, right? So this is actually the layout of the new webpart when you're combining both, right? Videos and pictures. It's really beautiful, very balanced and elegant. Okay, not on this release, but on a near future, the possibility for users to be notified when new content is added, right? Currently, it will, for this version, you'll have access to later today. You'll see that as a coming soon, right? But it should be something to be implemented soon. Now, there are still other functionalities that we're considering migrating from the previous version to this new one. One of them is the upload through webpart. In here, you can see a screenshot of the previous version of the webpart with that blue upload button. We're still considering whether we're going to do this or not, as well as including the file options, which enabled you to choose which file types were supported, and the metadata tags, right? So if you have thoughts on this, if you have, I don't know, an opinion on whether we should include it or not, again, this is a great time to share it. Okay, handing off to Marco to show you all of this in action.
Thank you, Francisca. So let's start to see what happens when we put the web part on the page. And as usual on our new modern experience, we already have some demo content here. So in fact, those are some random images but it's a good point to start and to see, just to see the layouts that we have. And I think I have only 4 columns here. I think I will put 6 to have more room. So this is the layout for the gallery here. So we have the tiles layout, which is the legacy layout. And also we have the Pinterest that you will have different sizes accordingly to the image ratio. And we also have the wave effect that you will have some small and bigger, small and bigger, and so on. And this one here is not ready yet, but we are implementing. So you can also choose the gap between the tiles. Just drag here, and as you see, you can just choose this gap. So as Francisca said, we have 3 different data sources. So we have the save to this web part. We can get images from a document library, or we can get images from a custom SharePoint list. So using this one here, we can just add a new image that I can just choose one from stock images. Okay. And there you go. So you have the new picture here, and what you can do is to just just edit the information. You can just write here a title, basketball, and you can also add a description here. So basketball player. And here on this layout, we are only showing one single line of text, but we can change this. So if you go not for the gallery layout, but for the image layout itself, we can choose from having just a label here, and we can switch from title or description. As you see, now the basketball player was the description. Or you can just have the card layout, where we can also have the title and the description also. So for this one here, you can also choose a color for the here for the card, and that's it for the image layouts. So other data sources are the SharePoint list. I already have one here for this demo, the gallery demo list. And here you can just get data from any kind of list. Just make sure that you configure here the mappings. So I'm going to just do the default mappings. And you can also, I can show here that on this list, we have an image as an image field. We also have images as a link field, and we also have images just like a single line of text field. So I will go for those 3. So the first one that I just used is this one, image, but I can also use the other one, the picture, which is an URL for the image. As you see, it's the same thing. And also you can use a single line of text for this. That would be the image URL. So if you go and if you choose to get data from a document library, which will be maybe the normal scenario, it's to get the images from a document library. So you just choose here document library and just search here for it. Let's just choose the documents. And as you see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 5 images. If I go to the list, you will see that that those are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images. But I also have other images inside these folders, like here, and inside the subfolder, I have here lots of images. So for that, we can choose here on the layout and just toggle this on to include images from the subfolders. And if you toggle on, so you have all the images here. And you can also choose to see this as a folder structure. So if you toggle on, as you see, we have the 5 images on the root, and then we have all the folders. Let me just change this layout here. And you have all the folders here where you can just go and navigate inside, and you can go inside this one and just open and go back. So this is the folder structure option. So if you click on the image, so a model will pop up and you can just navigate here using these arrows or just using your keyboard and switch the images. And you can also have some information about the image here, like who made the upload, the file type, file size, and the URL for the image and for the document library. Okay. Another thing is the pagination. So let's say that we have 6 columns, and we just want to see 6 images. And well, at this moment we are restricting to show only 6 images, but we can just toggle on the pagination, and as you can see, you can have the pagination here, and you can just choose the page and all the images. You can access all the images by using the pagination. And the other thing is let me just toggle off the pagination. Just put 50 and okay. So the other thing is the feature of this one here, this component here, the search, the filter, and the sort. So if you toggle the search bar, so you can search for the files. So I will just choose. You can choose which fields are searchable. I will choose this one here because on a document library it would be the name that I want. So I'm choosing the name, and I can just search here. If I go for profile, I only have this one here. So for also you can, if you have some other columns or other hidden columns that you want to make them searchable, and if they are not appearing here, you can just write here the name of the columns to be searchable. So another thing is the ability to so users can sort the images. So you can toggle on, and you just can choose here the default sort criteria. So let's say file type. As I can see here, all of them are JPG. Let me just go back here, just put another one, more files here. So I have PNG here. Okay, so if you just, just can sort by file type. Now we are looking to the PNG and now the JPG. You can also use the file type as a filter. So for that, you just toggle on the allow users to filter option. And if you go here for file type, then you can have here the filter. As you can see, you can filter for JPG or PNG. So you have 3 kinds of filter interface. So you have the drop down or you have the buttons here, or you can use it as a panel here at the right. And I think I'll back to you, Francisca. From me now, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so it's time to open up to questions and suggestions. Any thoughts? What are we doing good? What should we do different? Feel free to type on the chat if that's better.
Looking good to me. This is David here. I would love to see this on the document library too. All these features are just exciting. So that filtering within the folders, really great. One thing I thought was maybe on those layouts, have a layout that could show the folder name. So we would know that it's a nested document. Those tiles, right? You couldn't really show a folder name, could you?
Marco, I thought we can. No? Do you want to go back to sharing? You're muted. Sorry.
Thank you. So so you want the folder name here on the image, or just
well,
on
like
the...
you have those the layouts, right, for the
okay,
image.
okay.
We could have one, not the gallery, but the image layout.
Okay, this one here. Yeah.
Maybe have like a details one where we could like also add the folder, or like I
So
don't think you always want it, but yeah, maybe
Right.
like above it to be able to see what folder it
okay,
sits in, right?
okay. Yes. Makes sense. Yeah. Yes, I was thinking another thing, but that makes sense to
Yeah,
just
me too.
some action here to show the folder or something like that, right?
Yeah, might be nice.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else, David?
No, it looks really great.
Yeah.
Just need it for documents. We need like PDFs in there.
We're coming. We're coming. I
Excel,
promise you.
Word. Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Maybe on the upload, I don't know if you guys have ever thought of adding in some of those nice functions that, you know, guarantee that you don't upload the 10 megabyte file from your iPhone and shrinks it down to, you know, 1 megabyte, and any of that sort of functionality would be golden.
Good.
Even like to auto balance, auto brightness. There's libraries for that stuff that you might be able to steal from. Just include when the person drag and drops an image in.
Sounds good. I'll take note of all of that. Okay. I'm not sharing, am I? Sorry. I don't want to force anyone to speak up. So if you want to share your feedback later, maybe after trying the webpage, which should be available later today on your accounts, there's this feedback form that you can use to just provide suggestions or ask for features to be added. Well, whatever you think works for you. Okay, just a couple of notes on the insider products, right? Because I know there has been some confusion. So I've shared this slide the last time we met. So just recapping, if you're wanting to install an insider version, you'll receive an email later today or tomorrow with the recording. And for sure, when you receive that email, your products will be in your account. They will be added to your current subscription with BindTuning. So if you're a customer, then the product should be made available as part of your customer license. If you're a partner, then it would be added to your partner demo licenses. It will have the label Insider, okay? And very important, you need to install it without clicking updates, Okay, because sometimes this makes some confusion. So if you see that there's the 00 something version, that means that it's an insider version. You have the label there. You just install it as is, even if there's something saying update. Okay, so you just install that version. Okay, and I think that that's all I have. Everything, and let me just share this. All our past calls, all our past presentations and feedback forms are available as part of a team to which all of you here at this call should have access to already, right? So I'm sharing it now. And you see that we have some basic information on how to access your products and all, but you also have this new Webpert experience channel in which all the recordings and the links for feedbacks are available. Okay, so feel free to revisit the Webperts that you have tried already and give us your feedback here using the feedback forms that should be displaying here. Well, they're here, but they're also in the posts for each recording. And that's all from me. Anyone else wants to, I don't know, ask a question or share something about something else? No? Okay. So I'll get we will send the recording soon and together with the forms, and we look forward to hearing more from you. Thanks again for joining, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.